Alright folks, this is Jason with the Primal Outdoors channel, and today we are in the shop. We have Meagan's van pulled in the background, you can see there, and I have a Redarc Manager 30 here in front of me. We're going to be installing this today in Meagan's van. Meagan had a DC to DC from another manufacturer she had been using in her old van, but it was damaged in the crash. We tried to recover it, but it's just not been functioning properly. So I have already been using the Redarc Manager 30 in my van. I'm very happy with it. Meagan also liked the functionality of the Redarc Manager 30. What the Redarc Manager 30 is, for those that are not familiar, it is a DC to DC, but it's a little bit more than just your average DC to DC, because this also handles your solar, so it has MPPT connection, and it also has a shore power connection, so you can plug into an AC outlet and charge your house battery that way. It also manages power coming from all of those sources, so that way you can get the maximum amount of power out of all three sources combined if need be. It's just a really great system. It's all in one. Everything works and integrates very well, so that's the main reason why I like it. But like I said, we're gonna get this thing out of the box and start getting it installed in Meagan's van. Okay, so it comes with two boxes here. The top box, we've actually already opened this up and looked, but this actually comes within some instructions, and it has the LCD display in there, so that I'll just set aside for right now. In the main box you have the actual Redarc unit itself, the Manager 30. On one end you have your AC port for plugging into shore power, and then on the other side you have your other connections for connecting in your solar panels, your charging from the alternator, and then your output to your battery, to your shore power battery. Comes with a shunt and everything that you need to be able to properly install the Manager 30. The shunt is so that way you can monitor everything with the LCD panel in and make sure that it gives you correct information.
The first thing we needed to do was remove Meagan's old DC to DC. The Manager 30 is larger than her old system, so it required us to do some reconfiguring of our electrical board. Of course, every application will be slightly different, but here are a couple options based on our two different vans. When Meagan originally started her interior build, she set up her electrical board first and then built her bed over the top. This leaves her electrical system out of sight of the main living space, but it still gives her adequate access to it if needed. I wanted my electrical system to be visible inside, but I didn't want to see a mess of wires everywhere. I built my cabinet outside the van. I put the devices on the visible side of the board and the wiring on the back side. I put the backboard on a hinge so I could pull it forward and access the wiring if needed.
All right guys, well, it is still really tight in here, kind of hard to work. We did manage to get things kind of moved around. We got the Manager 30 installed where we're going to do it. We also put the shunt where we're going to have it, and it reaches the original negative cable that we had to the old shunt, so that's going to work out.
Since I needed to reconfigure Meagan's electrical board, I had to remake some of the connections. Make sure to refer to the Manager 30's manual for information on the correct wire gauge for your application. The manual also gives you a clear wiring diagram for you to follow so you can properly configure your system. All you need is a flathead screwdriver and wire strippers to connect the cables to the Manager 30. Most likely you will need to put ring connectors on the other ends of the cable, which will require some special tools. I put a complete list of tools I used in the description below. The Manager 30 does come with fuses and some ring connectors. Depending on your application, you may need some third-party components like a positive and negative bus and safety disconnects. After we were done installing the Manager 30, Meagan ran the cable to where she wanted to mount the Redvision display. She then flush mounted the Redvision display for a clean look.
Alright folks, well, we finally got the new Redarc Manager 30 installed in Meagan's van. It's a pretty easy installation as far as the Manager 30 itself goes, but because of the tight quarters underneath the bed, it made it a little bit more challenging. But it is in and completely functioning properly, and so we are now able to charge Meagan's house battery via her alternator. We also have the option of shore power And even though we don't have solar hooked to the van at this point, we will be adding that in the future, and the Manager 30 will accommodate that as well. The Manager 30 is capable of a full 30 amps charge into your battery. You will want to check the specs on your house battery to make sure that you can pump in 30 amps. If you can't, you can adjust the Manager 30 down if you need to. In our case, we have a 170 amp hour Renogy battery, so it's not a problem for us to pump the full 30 amps in. Now, Meagan opted to go with the new Redvision display. You can get a standard display that comes with the Manager 30, or you can upgrade to this new Redvision display. I really like it because it's a little bit bigger screen and it's more graphical. It allows you to quickly assess what you have going on with your battery system, as far as where your charge is coming from and how much battery you are, or amps that you're using out of your battery at any given point. Another thing that I really like about this particular display is it gives you a Bluetooth capability and a phone app, so that you can monitor everything you can see here on your phone, so you don't have to be tied to the display to see what's going on with your system. You can access all that same information from your phone. All right, folks, so I wanted to come over to my van and share a little bit of the difference in how my van is set up versus Meagan's. Now, I also have the Redarc Manager 30, so I have the same ability for charging my van as she does. But I also have the Redarc Redvision system, which adds switching and some extra monitoring to my overall system. It gives me 10 switchable circuits, 5 which are 10 amp circuits and 5 which are 30 amp circuits. It also gives me 2 temperature sensor inputs. One I have set up so that I can monitor the temperature inside the van, and one that I can monitor the temperature outside of the van. It also allows you to monitor up to 6 water tanks. Now, I don't have 6 water tanks, but I do have one in-house water tank, and I can monitor how much water I have in that tank with either the phone app or the same Redvision console that Meagan has in her van. Plus, I can use the soft keys on the side to turn on different devices within my van. So that I have my interior lights, and then I also have all my exterior lighting and my air compressor, which is mounted underneath my van, all connected in, so that I can either turn them on via my phone app or turn them on via the console. The Redvision also comes with 3 input triggers. So for an example, what I have set up is I have my car stereo set so that it actually runs off the house power, or the house batteries, instead of the start battery. That way, if I'm at camp and I want to listen to music, I can listen to music and I don't have to concern myself about depleting the start battery. But since I have the key on trigger set on the Redvision, when I turn the key on, it still turns my car stereo on just like normal. But when I'm at camp, I can just, and the van's off, I can just come to my phone or come to the console back here and turn on the stereo and listen to music. So anyways, the Redvision, I really like it. It definitely adds a lot more features and capability. I like the fact, again, that on the phone app, it's all one single app. I can basically monitor my entire system, see what the temperatures are, see what my water level's at in my tank, see how much charge I'm getting either from solar, house power, or the alternator. But I can also, right from the same app, be able to control and switch things in my van. So really handy. It's a nice complete system. I really like the fact that it's one app and you don't have to go to multiple apps on your phone. So anyways, guys, we'll wrap up this video on the Redarc Manager 30 and a quick look at the Redvision system. If you guys are interested in this system at all, definitely check out my description. I've got a link down there to Redarc's website. You can look at their different products. They have the Manager 30. They also have some other more basic DC to DCs and solar panels. So if you're building a van or some type of adventure vehicle or adventure trailer, definitely check them out. They make really good products for the Overlander and van lifer. So if you guys found this video useful, please do give it a like. If you have any comments or questions, leave those down below, and we'll catch you guys again outside.